Hello and welcome to Biovids. In this series, I cover the lives of important or interesting figures in history, examine what made them what they were, and discover their true impact. In the year 1494, the city of Florence would change forever. Florence had long been a center of the Renaissance, a reinvigoration of classical art and culture in Italy. The oligarchic republic, ruled by the Medici family, would encourage and grant patronage to many artists and writers. Beneath the surface of prosperity, however, trouble was brewing. The desire for reform in the Catholic Church was growing and festering, something that had previously already caused massive trouble in Bohemia with the Hussite Wars, and would later explode into a massive reformation triggered by a monk named Martin Luther. However, in between these was a period where the authority and presence of the church was questioned by another man, one far less known than Martin Luther or even Jan Hus. This man was Girolamo Savanorala, the Mad Monk of Florence. Girolamo was born into a wealthy family in Ferrara. He received education from his grandfather, a prominent mathematician and intellectual. After his grandfather's death, he planned to pursue a career in medicine, though he eventually abandoned this for an unknown reason. He would begin to write poetry, which often criticized the church and had apocalyptic overtones. Despite this, he would still choose to become a friar for the Catholic Church. After being admitted into the Dominican order, he would study theology and philosophy, and as he did, his apocalyptic predictions grew to a greater level, and he soon left for Florence to preach his message of repentance. His teaching would grow in popularity, and the power of the Medicis was declining. At last, when France invaded Italy in 1494, the ensuing chaos was Girolamo's perfect opportunity to take over. And that he did, spreading an intense religious zeal across the Republic, especially in the younger generations. His predictions included that of a new biblical flood and the arrival of a, quote, new Cyrus from the north, referring to Cyrus the Great of Persia, who would supposedly purify Christianity. He promised to turn Florence into the greatest city in the world, a new Jerusalem. He is most known for his bonfire of the vanities, in which he burned many things that he believed would tempt one to sin, including mirrors, secular art, and instruments. The Pope would eventually demand he cease his preaching, and he would comply for a short while, but not long after would go right back. This resulted in his excommunication on the grounds of heresy. He was challenged to a trial by fire, where he would walk through flames to prove his divinity. When rain drenched the fire, and the spectators as well, he was blamed. Not long after, he was hanged and burned, his ashes scattered into the river Arno. Girolamo Savanorala was a paradox of a man. He was both a reformer and a staunch conservative, a populist and a preacher of the old ways. Only one thing is for sure about the controversial preacher, and that's that his impact on theology and Christianity. He reminded the world of Reformation and religious zeal that had been lost with so many years of status quo. In doing so, he set the stage for the Protestant Reformation, which would change the course of history forever. Thank you for watching. This was episode 1 of Biovids.